Peace, love, and rock and roll. And we are going to have some fun today. So, this is a big one. This is a huge, huge mold. Of course, it still has the item inside of it. And just for curiosity's sake, I want to see how much it weighs with the item already still in it. So on ounces, wow, it's just under 52 ounces. It's still going. $51.75. Wow. Anyway, that's all put together. So it's a big one. It's huge. Just came out of the pressure pot. Let me turn my little video on here. So of course we have to tear the mold apart to get into it. I hate having to destroy these boxes, but it has to happen. I think the anticipation of making them is kind of fun too. Okay, getting a little closer. Voila. And this was a handmade antique. To begin with, handmade from Holland. Okay, so I have no idea if I'm going to be able to do this with my hands and my rheumatoid arthritis, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Should have sprayed a little more mold release underneath of that. On the bottom side. Oops. I'm just going to keep seeing what I can do. Just keep loosening it. Hope for the best. I don't have any strength in my hands, so I don't know if I actually can get this out or if I have to wait for my honey to come home. He helps me get my big molds undone. I should have probably waited for him. I already feel my wrist starting to pull out. Just keep trying to loosen this off the crystals. You know, and I never want to stick objects up inside my mold to try to yank it, you know. It's going to be hard because I did put mold release on this, but some of the super sparkle stuff is going to make it difficult, I think, to get the mold off when I can't put pressure in there like I need to. All right, I'm going to turn my little recorder off because, okay, I can feel that in my wrist. I really want to get this undone because we are live, and I really don't want to stick anything in there. Maybe I just need to release a little more on the crystal side. There's a lot of crystal sparkles in there. I can feel it still releasing. I do have a lot on there. It wants to come out though. As I bend it like on the desk, if I could get a little leverage on it, it is pulling away more. But I think it's, it goes down in the middle there. And so I think it's sticking inside. There hasn't been the air hasn't gotten into the center of it yet. So the struggle is real. And you get to see it live. Maybe if I stand up and try to push it down and go all the way around it. I feel it changing. I could feel the difference in it. I think it possibly starting to release. I could be wrong. Oh my God, this is crazy. You know how bad I want to rip this thing out of here? See what it looks like? I have no strength in my fingers and my wrists. There's a bunch of construction guys next door building a deck, right? Come on now. This is a hard one. I don't want to cut this. I definitely don't want to cut this. I had to save up for the last 3 weeks just to be able to get this new batch of silicone. So I definitely don't want to ruin. It's a lot of product. And this is a special project for me that I was looking forward to. My husband would crap if I called him and said, "Hey, honey, can you come home for lunch?" All right. I don't see me being able to get this out. I can see if I use 2 hands, I can bend it, but then once I try to reach in, I lose the bend that I had going. Yeah. So the struggle is real, people. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this off. I'm really trying. I have a hard time trying to open jars, let alone this. This is too much. I really wanted a video on opening it, but it's not so easy as you would think. You learn lots of new lessons when you start working with these products. You just don't know what you're getting into. Okay, I got to put this one down because it's just too much. I'm not going to get anywhere with it. I apologize for that. I don't know if I can get him to do this on camera with me once he comes home from work, which is not for quite a few hours yet. I will try to see if he will. I mean, he's been on camera before, but I think what I'm worried about most is, will we both sit in front of the camera trying to get it off? So I'm not sure if I could film it or not. All right, well, I'm going to put that one aside because my hands are really bothering me. So I do apologize for that. Let's try one of these other little guys here and see what happens. I think I will not waste my film on my ripping apart another box. Yeah, it's not the first mold I've had problems opening with my hands. That's for sure. Getting old's for the birds, let me tell you what. It's not even for the birds. Hate to even be that mean to the birds. I have to trim this up a little bit. Okay. See, this one's coming out fairly nice. I see the detail on that one. So what I had to do with this one was I had to push clay down underneath into where there would have been any kind of air pockets where the silicone would have, connected under there. So there's just a very tiny little bit of clay that got on there. And you don't want to touch, you really don't want to pick and touch your mold and put marks on it. That I learned the hard way. So what I would rather do is, let's see if I can find my tape. I don't like, let's see if I can get that off. No, what is that? I think that must be something that's in the silicone, like some dust or something that got into the silicone itself. So I just want to see if there's any clay that's stuck. Might be just a minute piece, but like I said, you don't want to scratch up the mold surface. And I finally bought tiny little scissors and they're upstairs. I have to get them just to trim this off to give it a sharp little edge. So there's another little antique trinket dish with a rose on it. I'll be pouring in these tonight. Once I get the crystal ashtray out, I'll be pouring in that mold tonight and this mold. And I have to start making a couple more molds that I'll be shipping out to another YouTube creator. And I won't spoil the surprise. Okay, let's get this one open. I get my, I probably said this before, but I get this black foam board at the dollar store. I believe it's $2 for a mini science board. They're just as big as this, basically, a little bit bigger than that. That's what this is, laying down, which I flipped it over because I'll tell you, when I start, I really destroy my surfaces. Okay, let's see if we can. A little bit one underneath of that. So this little trivet dish is another antique. It's out of France. Okay. Oh, wow. The little image. Look at that. The little image of the faint image of the flowers is on that one. That's pretty wild. That Moldstar 15, the detail. It picks up every detail. Beautiful. So that's one trinky dish. And you see, I already got another piece of dust in there. Okay. There's another trinket dish. And I apologize for not being able to get our crystal ashtray out yet. But I could see it's something that I'm going to need help with. I mean, it's not a whole lot wider than this hole. That's a pretty wide hole. I would rather not have to cut my mold. There's a possibility I may have to cut it down the back here to open it up. But I'm going to hold out, which is going to be difficult, and try to have patience until my husband comes home to help me open that one up. So thank you. I will be back in just a few moments to talk about some of the cast magic colors from Smoothon. I don't have all of them, but we're going to talk about some of them. Thank you so much. Okay. Rock on, people. Make something beautiful. Ciao.